From miraculous to mind-boggling, surprising to simply bizarre, the animal world is filled with the tales of extraordinary births that will leave you shocked. Male gorilla gives birth. When zookeepers made their daily rounds in Columbus Zoo, they came upon Sully, the gorilla's enclosure, and what they saw there next was nothing short of a miracle. In his arms was a very small and cute baby gorilla. This was a big surprise because everyone at the zoo thought Sully was a boy, but she turned out to be a girl and had just become a mother of a baby. This zoo had been Sully's home since 2019. She was known for her lively spirit and excellent health, which meant the zookeepers rarely had to give her special attention. This allowed her to keep her pregnancy a secret, hidden from the watchful eyes of her caregivers. Sully had successfully managed to be not just any gorilla in the zoo, but a nurturing mother to her newborn. Well, you can imagine the zookeepers' reaction. They were overwhelmed, their faces beaming with joy and surprise. They couldn't wait to spread the word. Rushing to their computers, they began sharing the incredible news, which made headlines across the country. Because not just a birth, this was a delightful surprise that brought joy to the entire zoo. And here comes the most intriguing part. How did this all happen? Reason number one, distinguishing between male and female gorillas, especially the young ones, is quite a challenge, as during their early years, they all look quite alike. Determining their gender requires careful observation, and sometimes even medical checks. Reason number two, they can be pregnant without showing obvious signs, which is why her pregnancy remained unnoticed. Luckily, despite all the lack of care and protection during the early weeks, the baby gorilla was surprisingly healthy. As the news of Sully's baby spread, visitors flocked to the zoo, eager to witness this adorable new addition. The zoo became a hub of excitement and learning, with people of all ages coming to see the mother and child duo. The zoo staff took this opportunity to educate visitors about gorilla behavior, their social structures, and the importance of conservation efforts for these majestic animals. Gibbon gave birth to strange baby. This shocking incident that occurred in Chester Zoo of England centers around a gibbon named Maya. Although she was an ordinary gibbon who was popular among the zoo staff for her playful antics and expressive eyes, it was what happened after she became pregnant that shocked the entire zoo. She had actually given birth to a baby that bore an uncanny resemblance to a human infant. Well, it all started back in the year 2021, when, during winters, the zookeepers noticed a change in Maya. She started to act differently. She began to spend a lot of time inside the enclosure instead of being as active as usual. Her caretakers guessed that Maya was going to have a baby, which turned out to be true. As time passed, everyone, including the visitors and the zoo staff, became more and more impatient. They all waited to see the new baby gibbon that she was going to have. It was after the long gestation period that lasted for 32 weeks. She finally delivered the baby. Where this was supposed to be a joyous moment for the zoo staff, it ended up actually shaking them to their core at the same time. When the zookeepers first looked at the baby gibbon, they noticed something unusual and unexpected. It looked like a human baby, they said. The skin texture, the shape of the hands, each and every feature made him look like an actual human baby, especially when she held the baby close to her, mainly due to the fact that he was hairless. While they typically don't possess abundant hair, this one didn't have a single strand. As the news spread, more visitors flocked to the zoo, eager to catch a glimpse of the human-like baby gibbon. Days turned into weeks, and the baby gibbon, whom the staff named Kiko, began to grow. His features started to take on the distinct characteristics of a gibbon: the wide eyes, the long arms, and the beginning of a fine coat of fur. The initial confusion about his appearance slowly turned into admiration for his unique beauty. Kiko also became a symbol of the close connection between humans and the animal kingdom. As Kiko grew older, his playful nature and curious antics became a highlight of the zoo. Visitors would gather around Maya and Kiko's enclosure, watching in delight as Kiko learned to swing from the branches just like his mother. Unexpected twin of gorilla. Burger Zoo. This is where the tale began of a gorilla named Ngala and the dedicated zookeeper named Simon, who played a vital role in delivering the unexpected twin. He wasn't just any zookeeper. He was someone who had spent most of his life working closely with animals, and his dream was to build a deep bond with them, especially the gorillas, as these majestic creatures always held a special place in his heart. His journey led him to the zoo in the Netherlands, a home to several magnificent gorillas, but one gorilla in particular particular caught his eye. Her name was Ingala. Ingala was born and raised in captivity. She was 20 years old and known for her intelligence and empathy. Simon, tasked with caring for the younger gorillas, found himself irresistibly drawn to Ingala during his free time. Their bond eventually became undeniable, and the other staff members couldn't help but smile at the special connection they shared. While Ingala got her popularity for being the friendliest gorilla in the entire zoo, it all changed on one ordinary day. At first, she disappeared from her usual spot and was found alone inside the enclosure. Simon and the other people who work at the zoo noticed that she was acting differently than usual. They were concerned about her health, so they decided to approach a veterinarian for help, and the veterinarian gave them surprising news that she was going to have a baby. Totally unexpected. It made everyone at the zoo very excited about the arrival of a new baby gorilla. The caretakers prepared for the long pregnancy, ensuring she had everything she needed. Though she usually liked being around others, she started wanting to be alone more often. This change in her behavior was thought to be because of natural changes in her body due to her pregnancy. The zoo told everyone about her being pregnant, and soon many people from different parts of Europe became interested. They wanted to come to the zoo to see the baby gorilla when it was born. As her due date approached, she began to show clear signs of nesting, indicating that labor was near. Then, on a cool spring night, the moment arrived. She went into labor. Simon, anxious about her condition, was reassured by the vet that everything was progressing well. Moments later, Ingala gave birth to a beautiful baby gorilla, a sight that filled everyone with joy. But then, something astonishing happened. Ingala gave birth to a second baby, a rare occurrence of twin gorillas. Ingala, the calm and caring mother, cradled both babies, nursing them with a natural instinct. Simon, reflecting on his journey with Ingala, felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The bond they shared and the extraordinary experience of witnessing the birth of the twin gorillas was something he cherished deeply. Panda's secret twins. Not the zookeepers, but this time, the mother panda screamed when she saw this. Okay, maybe I exaggerated this part a bit, but what actually happens is that pandas usually abandon one of their kids in the case of twins, and there's a reason behind it. It's driven by their limited energy and resources. They can't take care of both cubs at the same time. They subsist on bamboo, which is low in nutritional value. This diet hardly provides enough energy for a mother to care for two cubs. This remarkable occurrence took place in China, where pandas are nurtured as part of conservation efforts for this endangered species. Here, a giant panda named Lily has given birth to twins. This moment is a rare phenomenon for pandas. When Lily gave birth to twins, she unknowingly became part of a delicate, almost theatrical process designed by her human caregivers to ensure the survival of both her babies. But keepers have devised a plan, a little trickery for a greater cause. Shortly after the twins' birth, they gently remove one cub, leaving Lily to believe she only has one to care for. This begins a round-the-clock operation of twin swapping, where each cub gets its turn to be with its mother, basking in her care and feeding, while the other is cared for in an incubator, receiving vital formula milk. The swap happens up to 10 times a day, a meticulous and patient process that requires the keepers to win over the trust of the mother panda. This method isn't just about survival, it's about thriving. Prior to 1990, the survival rate for panda twins was a mere 30%. Now, there's a possibility of a 100% survival rate for these captive cubs. With an estimated wild population of around 2,060, every cub's survival is a victory in the conservation of this beloved species. The Chengdu panda keepers don't just care for these animals, they're guardians of a species, architects of a future where these gentle giants continue to thrive, not just in captivity, but hopefully one day in a world that's safe for them again.